Hey YouTube, this is the environmental educator, Eileen, and my new channel on YouTube because no one else will dial the environmental 911 call the world needs. I guess I'm late in getting here, but better late than never. That's what I still tell Albie, right? Albie Gore. The solutions are on your desk. They're on the ski area's desk too. That's whose segment this is right here. The ski industry is out screaming for an unknown something to somehow finally achieve because their industry is in trouble. There's report after report after article after article that's, they're like, it's going to be melting away. And Aspen ski areas, whatever the technical name is, I don't know, but whoever owns Aspen ski areas, Aspen Mountain, their environmental worker, Auden Schindler, I believe is his name, he's out there. He's, one of the biggest, like, oh my God, we've got to do something. He's joined in on Bill McKibben's 350s, got Earth to 400 plus is what I call them. I mean, that's what they are. And, but Auden has joined Bill's, days of action, right? Having a ski race without snow. But, Auden, obviously, he's with everybody else out there screaming for a solution. Put the solution on his desk, and he's like, he doesn't respond, but it's like, delete that, like, solutions? I'm doing fine, I've got solutions, right? That's what they all think. The National Ski Area Association, the NSAA, they're based in Denver, and they have, or at least had, their environmental worker was Geraldine Link, and, she's screaming for a solution, like, oh my God, and you present them to her, and she's like, no, I'm doing fine, like everybody else. No, I have solutions. You're like, no, you don't. I hate to, you and everybody else, that's the sum of your work is this negative results that we're getting every year. Things are getting worse faster than expected, So I went over her head. She just basically told me to go away, and like a year or so later, I was knocking on her door again. But, you still don't have solutions and nothing's getting better and you're screaming for them. And, she was completely uninterested. So, I went over her head and to the president and, I left a message and, I told him. And she makes you mad. So my tone was mad, probably, but so what? I have a reason to be mad. She's treating me horribly and here I am. I have the solution and you're her boss. And if you're saying the ski area needs solutions, this is it, now it's your job. And, like she just needs to be gone like everybody else. She's not doing anything, right? She's convincing you she is, but she's not, right? She's convincing herself she is, but she's not achieving anything, And, that got me a call from the Denver police who, they just wouldn't even put down the phone. We're like, we're telling you, like, we'll come and get you in Montana. I'm like, I won't call them back. Like, okay, I think I have their answer. Okay. It's not like I was stalking them, anyways, that's how opposed to it they are. I spent the 90s in Vail, and I came up with the environmental educator one night sitting in my little place in East Vail looking at the comics page. And so it was right before the ski season, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna go for it. It was designed for the comics page, a topic a week, a little blackboard and text every day. And, I was like, come on, Vail. Vail talked environmental. And I got a meeting with Vail's, I think he was a vice president of like maybe operations or something, I don't know, Chris Ryman, and the Vail mayor, Peg Osterfoss, and their environmental worker, Russell Forrest, who is now the town manager over at Snowmass Village right next to Aspen. And, to this day, I'm like, hey, Russ, you're in my book. Hey, how about, real solutions? But, Russ wasn't about him then, and Russ isn't about him now. And, like everybody else, Russ, he's good. He's a family guy. He's, right. Everybody else would be like, no, he's a really nice guy. I'm like, well, sure, he's really nice, but he's also not about what his job is, right? But, hey, he was about what his job was, because his job was to be politically correct and pretend and to think that his work was good work. And I'm sure he thought it was good work until I presented my work to him, and he was like, wow, that's like eons ahead of my work. And but was he interested? No. No. I mean, he couldn't be either. The town wasn't interested, even if Russ was interested, which is, why as the town manager of Snowmass, I'm like, come on, Russ, let's get on it. But no, Russ. Russ isn't on it. Okay, Russ, to this day, this is May 2nd, 2014, Russ is not on it. And, like everybody else, right? So, I spent a lot of time, as I say in my book, the not fun part of Vail was wanting to be environmental and lead the world from there. I mean, after this meeting, nothing happened. I got a tour of the National Renewable Energy Lab because I called them and said, I think I can get Vail to work with you. We were 2 hours down the road on I-70, literally 2 hours to their door. And you don't get tours of the lab. I got one. I didn't just get a tour. I got the tour. Trust me, I signed in for 2 different passes because, I went in and said, hey, I'm here to meet Mike. She's like, oh, yeah. And the lady gave me a pass. And then Mike came out and he was like, no, she needs the other pass. And she's like, oh my God, nobody gets this pass. And believe me, that was the reception I got, as I took not just a tour, but the tour. And generally, they only give the NREL, the National Renewable Energy Lab in Golden, Colorado, they only give, he told me on the tour, Mike told me that they only give generally, about a handful of tours a year, even though they're inundated with requests, and they generally only give tours to large groups of high-level students, like, graduate level students. And I got a tour without asking for one, for saying I thought I could get Vail to work with you, right? But, they wouldn't. Chris Ryman, after that meeting, did give me a free ski pass that year, right? And then he wouldn't even talk to me again. Right, just wouldn't. I'm like, but hey, I have to now live up to my end of the deal, and because don't worry about it. I mean, he didn't even say anything. It's not like he was telling me don't worry about it. He was just in silence telling me, just use the pass and go away, Eileen. So, so I said, I really want to live up to my end of the deal. So I took him to court to try to live up to my end of the deal in working for the pass that I got and starting this association and so much more work, like, making the Solutions movie that Hal hasn't, started since, hasn't, given the world since 1994, 95, that Vail could have done on its own. I mean, absolutely. I assure you, Vail's Rolodex is, as big or bigger than Gore's, and they could find environmental people and known people, that could help, and they definitely could have. I mean, Jerry Ford was there, right? And I could do a little. He's got a chapter in my book. I mean, Jerry didn't even claim environmental, but I thought as president he should, or he could hand it off to someone because Vail wasn't being environmental, and I walked up to his door one day, and I gave the request to Jerry, and the guys, just the skiers in town, the guys out on the hill every day, they're like, you did what? And I'm like, yep, I drove past the sign that said, private road, residents only, and went up to Jerry's door, and Secret Service answered, and UPS pulled up at the same time, so I let the UPS guy go first, Seriously. And then he leaves, and Secret Service answers the door, now Secret Service is just looking at me. He's like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Eileen. I'm here to, leave this for Jerry. And he's like, I can't take this. And I'm like, yeah, you can. He's asking me questions like, how do you know where Jerry lives? And I'm like, it's all right here. I pointed to the first page. It said, Dear Secret Service. And I'm like, any question you're going to ask me is going to be answered there. I'm only going to try this once just to say I did it. And the Secret Service guy was like, I can't take this. And I was like, yes, you can. And he's like, you have to send it to his office. I'm like, I have, I don't get responses. Like, this is Jerry's home. I'm hand delivering it to his home. And he's like, I can't take this. And, we were in this I can't take it, yes, you can loop until I said, you just took that package, right, that the UPS guy dropped off. And then Secret Service was just like, I did, and he's like, well, I can't do anything. I'm like, I'm leaving it here with you, so I did. I mean, I tried, because Vail wasn't doing anything, right? Jerry could have taken the lead, but Jerry didn't care. Neither did Vail, but, they're all still proclaiming it, right? I mean, Vail could have done so much, right? We could have reusable concessions all over their operation, starting in 1993 and 94. We could have led the world from there, right? Vail absolutely could have helped, get the environmental 911 is equal to you movie made and distributed to schools, even if Al wouldn't, and Robert Redford and Sundance wouldn't. Vail could have. They absolutely could have. They could have gotten the environmental educator, education to the world. I mean, there's Vail. Vail is powerful, man. The world comes to Vail. Yeah, I know a lot of people from Vail, and yeah, they could have helped, but they didn't. And, hey, they're still out claiming some environmental responsibility, and they have some Mickey Mouse worker who's doing Mickey Mouse things as the ski industry is still screaming for a solution. Right now, I live in Big Sky, Montana. Right? Seriously. Oh, my God, this town's so silly. 4 ski areas, okay? Public downhill skiers, Moonlight Basin, and Big Sky Resorts. The private downhill ski area, the Yellowstone Club, which... yeah, they have a green team. We are environmental. I'm like, hey, how about, we lead the world from we are environmental. I'm like, no, you're not. You are the Yellowstone Club where, people like Bill Gates have their cabin right there, 20,000 square foot cabin, right, it's pretty elaborate up there, right? Trust me. They're not environmental. And then we also, in Big Sky, have Lone Mountain Ranch, which is a cross-country ski area. 4 ski areas. In the summer, Big Sky makes its money off of the river right down here. Mountains to Peaks is what it's called here. They make their money off the environment, and yet everyone here, it's really silly here. At least other ski areas pretend to care, and they have an environmental worker, and their citizens think that they care, even though they're illiterate, so they don't really know how to act or care or be responsible, which I could end. But in Big Sky, I mean, they're just oblivious at the environment. Like they act like, I'm like, hey, I can get you great global press forever in the future. I can have this town packed with tourists beyond anything your dimwit, chamber director can do. She's anti-environment, she's anti-American. I mean, seriously, the news today, I sent it to the president and the general manager and the HR manager at Big Sky Resorts, right? 94 million Americans out of the workplace, right? And we hire foreigners. We tell the government we can't get Americans, and we bring foreigners, right? We're anti-American, anti the environment. I mean, nothing important enters the minds of Big Sky people. They're nice, they're very nice, and they would say the same about me, right? Seriously, oh my God, she's really nice. Have you ever hung out with her, man? She's really funny, but they all hate me. No, seriously, that's not even an exaggeration. Well, not all of them hate me, but the town in total, and when they're with each other, they're like, oh my God, she's so horrible. How dare she think we should hire Americans when the number one issue in America is employing Americans, right? How dare she think we should care about America? And how dare, with making our living off of the environment for ski areas, how dare she think we should care about the they aren't just they're not just neutral, they're not pro the environment, and they're not just like, God, wow, she really thinks we should do that. But, I mean, she's a nice person. We just don't care. I mean, the people in Big Sky, this town in total, is negative environmental, right? They are outraged at the concept, at the thought, at me being like, I can give you great global press forever in the future. I'll save all of your money. I'll give you, like, something to be proud of cumulatively. And, they don't care. They negative environmental interest. I'm telling you, they just hiss at me around here. I'm the horrible one. I tried to have a meeting. The chamber wouldn't arrange a meeting. The chamber director wouldn't arrange it. I'm like, get all the chamber director to all the chamber businesses together, and I can, present to you how, good this would be, and how easy it is, and how, get educated, and, the chamber director, Kitty Clemens, she doesn't care. She's just right, incompetent. That's how you stay in your jobs, right? In good jobs, you're just incompetent and you don't care about important things. And so I went above her head to the chamber board of directors, and they don't care. They're business owners in this town, and they're bringing foreigners here themselves, chamber directors. I mean, Bucks T4 and the 320 Ranch, they're guys, because I asked this meeting to respect guest service professionals, right? We can get Americans here if we just, respected the people who made the economy. We could get Americans here, and we should be hiring Americans. That was, not foreigners, because the number one issue in America is employing Americans. We should be America's a solution instead of continuing to be America's unemployment problem. And, I wanted the meeting then to, then we can lead the world environmentally. And Big Sky is opposed to all of that. They're negatively opposed to, like, so far off that they all just, and since they're all in mass, 99 point everyone in the town except me is against me, they think they're right? But, they could lead the world environmentally. So the chamber directors wouldn't organize this meeting either. So I actually spent 3 days going door to door, putting flyers in people's doors that I was going to have this meeting. And did I think anybody was going to show up? No, are you kidding me? I mean, I worked with this one lady just recently for like 2.5 years, and her and her husband are the salt of the earth. I mean, just great, solid people. The greatest parents, and oh my God, the whole town would tell you that, and I'll tell you they're nice enough, right? But the NIZ, the NIZ, the nothing important zone, right? They're too blah, just nothing important enters their brains, and this lady she's about to deliver her third child, is due at the beginning of January, right? She's got, I have so much love to give, like, right? She, one day, at work, as, somehow it came up, because, what I'd like doesn't really ever come up. You don't bring it up to people that don't care about it. But, it came up, and she was like, no one in Big Sky would do that, right? And so I proved it. I already knew it, right? I mean, here's a mother who thinks she's a great mother, like every other mother across America. Just, why would I care about the environment, Eileen? Anyways, so I did. I proved that no one cared, right? I already knew it. And no one showed up, right? Well, actually, one guy showed up to tell me how wrong I was. I'm like, seriously, you think I'm wrong? Just because I'm like, well, I would rather be on the right road alone than on a very crowded wrong road with all of you people, But the point is, Big Sky doesn't care. There is one guy who cares here, Kevin Jermaine. He's a really good guy. He was director of development at Moonlight. Moonlight got bought out by the Yellowstone Club with Big Sky Resorts combined somehow. Now it's all on Big Sky Resort webpage, which is just sad. They won't even let Moonlight have its own webpage anymore. But Kevin, from what I hear, he's got a year to prove himself. Why do we need you? And I don't know. The last I heard from him was in January. Kevin's always like, "Oh, we got to get together," And I'm like, Kev, any time. But we both know it's not going to happen. I mean, that even happened in January of 2014. He was like, "I'm going away for 2 weeks, but we got to get together. We got to talk about a few things." And it's just not going to happen. It hasn't happened. It's not the first time Kev's been like, "Oh, we got to get together." I'm like, Kev, it's not going to happen. At Moonlight, he was like, "Hey, Eileen, we're in bankruptcy." I'm like, pay me later. Pay me what I save you, or a portion of what I save you. If I save you that much, I mean, I'll take a reasonable salary, just a portion, and, but it wasn't happening, and Greg, their general manager, Greg Pack, who's now general manager down at Telluride, he didn't care, and now Kevin's under Big Sky Resorts, and they don't care. They don't care, but Kevin, I think would have, let it happen, but his hands are tied. But he is one good guy here, but for the most part, just negative. Like, how dare she? How dare she even present us with like this great opportunity? They're just appalled around here. So, that's the ski area. And do I think it would be any different in any other town? No. If I lived in Aspen, they in Telluride, and I would like to find the town where it wouldn't be different and that they'd be like, yeah, man, let's do this, right? But I can assure you, it's not really out there, okay? It's got to come from the people, because the people at the top aren't going to do it, okay? Ski area directors are not going to take the lead. They're not going to do it, I would tell Kevin, Moonlight, I don't know what's happened since Big Sky took him over. I bet I can't even afford to ski anymore. It's the only reason I live here. But Moonlight actually had a reusable cafeteria. Their Madison Lodge. It was reusable plates, reusable silverware, reusable cups. I'm like, yeah, let's bring the whole ski industry here. Okay, we can show them how easy this is. They can all convert. They can be encouraged. They can see how easy it is. They'll be staying at your rental units. Renting your skis, drinking at your watering holes. The whole industry and the press would be here. At least ski magazines would be here about this conference, right? And you'd get so much press out of it, and we'd be leading the world. But that couldn't happen, right? It didn't happen, and it still doesn't. So the point is, the ski industry is out there screaming about their future, how concerned they are about it. And, all I need is one person. I'll tell you who is a good guy in the ski industry is Rob Stowe. Rob Apple in Stowe. I got Rob's ear years ago. I spent a little bit of time in Stowe and went to a town meeting, and the meeting wasn't too impressed with the input. Nobody wants solutions, right? We got these Mickey Mouse things. What are you talking about real stuff for, But I talked to Rob a little bit after that, and, he brought me in, and he is the only ski area person. Kevin, I think, would like to, but, Rob actually did bring me in and, grilled me, and he was like, is it really possible to, not have waste? And I'm like, in today's infrastructure, no, you would always still have some. You could cut it down significantly. If you built new infrastructure, it's almost, right? Almost, and, with the exception of reusable for, decades things starting to break down. Sure, why not? So I wanted to give Rob Apple a little plug there, because he is a good guy in the ski industry, and all I really need is one person in the ski industry to actually care and to care about solutions and be willing to get the education the world needs to your employees and your town and your guests, and then the rest of the ski industry. And, once one does it, people will start following, and then we will be leading the world and giving the ski industry a chance at a future, because, the ski industry's out there saying that their future's looking pretty bleak, and there are solutions. And so this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and I just need one of you to step up to the plate, right? And be willing to hit the green slam that Stephen Chu, Secretary of Energy Chu, says that the world needs, and Stephen won't give the world. And, everybody's screaming for. I admit, there is nothing else or better to try than my education and agenda. Check out video 1 or the write-up of my book, Stop Terrorism, United States Style, Greenhouse Gases or Weapons of Mass Destruction 2. And for the rest of you, just, every time you hear the ski industry screaming for solutions, just laugh and be like, shut up, shut up, right? You're suppressing them. Or, send them this video and tell them to put up or shut up, So I am what the ski industry needs, and I just need somebody to dial Environmental 911. So stay tuned to this channel, and together maybe we can stave off this global devastation that everybody says is on the horizon, and we can keep people skiing, right? That'd be great. It's a lot of fun. See you.